Why do you think this kind of, it struck me reading your book, why there's so much cognitive dissonance, denial about this in big agriculture, despite the negative impacts, like the waves of it rolling in now. I mean, the story of the apples and you know, all these technologies that are coming around to sort of tackle it, but they all seem to be like, you know, messing around on the edges rather than going to the root of the problem. Why is it taking so many people so long to come around to it?
That's a great question. I mean, it's really an interesting paradox, right? That agriculture has been a driver of climate change for decades, if not the better part of a century, right?
Mm.
There are conflicting data at somewhere between 10 and 30% of greenhouse gas emissions are driven, come out of the agriculture sector. If you include distribution and so on, the numbers shift. But there's no doubt that many of us in our own lives, have a greater carbon impact, but through our diets than through our transportation, our cars, and our air travel. I think agriculture is as unusual also in that climate change is biting back. And it's much harder to produce food in a climate stressed world than it is to produce dirty energy or drive a dirty car or fly a dirty plane. So what's interesting is that even as agriculture has been a major driver of the problem, I think it is in a better position probably than any other industry to convert quickly from climate sinner to climate saint. And I've interviewed many CEOs of large, agribusiness, and they're well aware. I certainly don't think that we're seeing the solutions fast enough, but they are well aware that that farming can become, if we shift from industrial to sustainable and regenerative practices, farming can become a solution to the problem rather than the driver of the problem. So why have they been so resistant? Well, they're making a lot of money off of very energy intensive agrochemicals, on mechanized agriculture that's very fuel intensive, long distance agriculture. They've built their entire food systems around these technologies. They're also very motivated to transform pretty dramatically away from what I think are really damaging and unsustainable practices.